Okay, with our welder right here, we have two different settings. One is your voltage setting, which we also call heat. A lot of times I might be working, turn around and tell somebody turn up the heat for me or turn down the heat a little bit. That means to turn the voltage up and down. Now, whenever you're setting your welder, just a little turn can make all the difference in the world. You don't have to go real radical, and you want to be able to find the happy medium in there. And then you have your wire speed. Now, your wire speed allows the amount of wire to come out of your welding tip. And whenever it comes out, you can, if it's too fast, what will end up happening is it will sit there and hit your metal and want to push your hand actually back. If it's too slow, what will end up happening is your arc will travel up the wire and you won't be getting any weld down to what it is you're welding. Now, what you want to listen for whenever you're setting your wiring speeds, a lot of times you'll set your welder, and as you're welding you'll hear it go zit, 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 like that. Now, if that's the case, the welding speed is down too far or down too low. So what you want to do is increase your the wire speed. As you increase the wire speed, it will also increase the voltage just a little bit. Now, your welder might not have that, so it's something that you have to work with. It just depends on what you purchase. There's all kinds of noise that you'll hear, but you want to listen to how your welder is behaving. And what I mean by listening to how it's behaving is listening to how it is welding. What you're wanting to hear is this noise right here. Just like it sounds, a piece of paper, you hear it, just one good steady tear. Now, if you have one that's going, then you need to adjust accordingly. It's one of those things that you just have to work with and practice with. And so before I start welding on the car over here, we know what our settings are because we weld so much, but before I start welding, I'm going to show you how to set up the welder. These should be about positioned right. Usually what I do, if this is turned to 3, I go to about 3 here, and then I can turn it up or down, needing to however I need it. So let's do a little bit of welding over here. Make sure gas is on. Okay, I have a good ground. I've been practicing a little bit right here. Give a few side in on that one. This particular weld right here was without the argon gas. Then once I turn my gas on, you can see a much better weld. These are called rosary welds. They're just a little zap, little zap, little zap. And it is melted in real good. So I'm going to hit one right here. Okay, you can hear it's not getting the argon gas like it should, and you don't have that good tear sound. Now the argon gas is starting to bleed through. And I need to turn up the wire speed just a tad. Good solid sound, that's what we're looking for. Now, what I'm going to do, whenever I start my welding rod, I'm going to hit it right where it meets the fender, or where it meets the hood. In this case, I had an old hood bent up. If you want to, you can go to a salvage yard or something. Ask them if they got a piece of junk hood laying around, or fender, whatever, so that you can practice on it. And practice before you start working on your vehicle. So I'm going to give her a little zap here. Now it doesn't take much. All you want to do is just tack it in place. Now, as it heats, you can see I have this bend that I have to go around. As you heat your rod, you can just simply build your rod, because whenever it gets hot, the molecules will change in both the metals. So we'll bend it as we work with it. Okay, you can see now we've added 1/8 of an inch all the way around here. Now it's not real hot, but it's too hot for me to sit there and hold and touch. But it's hot enough where I can run my hand across it. The main thing is you want a good puddle, a good weld on the sides, and you don't want to get it too hot. Now what I end up doing is I go in between these welds and I tack another weld. Now there's different type welds. One is called a solid string weld, which you just weld continually. Another is called a stitch weld. A stitch weld is where you'll maybe weld 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch, or 1 inch at a time. And then your last one is called just the rosary weld, which is just a little quick weld. And that's all that we want to do. Instead of welding one whole piece here, it will cause too much heat and cause warpage. So, here we go. Turn it around here. Okay, then we just simply go in between those welds. And you want to continue going in between until you feel it in solid. Then all we have to do is just grind it down. Of course, you want to weld the underneath side of it, and that makes for a one complete solid piece on your vehicle. So that's what we're wanting to achieve on our door. Okay, let's go fix the door.